Hi everybody, this is Osprey from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at the top small caps that were in play today. It's going to be pretty much all energy sector stocks except for two of them. One that's not, I just had to throw this in here, is ticker symbol AMRN. This was the huge winner today, closed up 314%, giant move. Look at the huge gap up open. It closed at right about $3 there on Friday. Big gap up open and then a run higher today. Ran all the way up to 1240. Today's candle was floating well above that upper Bollinger Band. The next support level below is EMA 4 at 672. Why was it running today? Well, it was running because of this fish oil capsule benefit that they had for heart patients. This is a big breakthrough, and so this is a pretty big deal. Where's this headed? Okay, let's look at the monthly chart for AMRN. So it's up 292% for the month. It's hitting this red line here. The red line is the 200-month moving average over here at 1245. Or this is the month. Yeah, I should have said here. This should say 200-month moving average, not week moving average. But it's hitting the 200-month moving average here at 1245. It needs to break that level. If it stalls out at 1245, it could pull back into the bands, retest EMA 4 at 677. Above 1245 is going to signal more upside potential. You have this 14 to 16 resistance zone from over here in 2012 is the next key level to break above. Okay, take a look at SAEX. Huge move today. Closed up 284% on some deal with Italy, laying some cable for them or something. Big news for this stock. It had a giant volume spike, huge volume behind the move. They had a recent reverse split, and so it was just I believe it was trading under a buck, and then now it's now it's up at $28. After the reverse split, they've got the good news. If it wasn't trading under a buck, it was just a couple of dollars. It was a very low share price, and so now it's above the 50, 100 day simple moving averages. It needs to stay above the 100-day simple moving average at 2363. To the upside, it has to break the 200-day simple moving average at 2947. That's the red line, and just above that's the 300-day simple moving average at 3431. Notice how it stalled out at that blue line before. That's the 300-day simple moving average. If it were to break above both of them, you would look at that 400-day simple moving average up there at 4871. That's where it ran to back in July. Okay, so it's got to break that 200-day simple moving average to head higher. Take a look at GBR. Closed up 71%. There's just a ton of stocks that were moving today, a ton of small caps. Even though the market was down, there's a lot of stocks that were in play. Oil was up 2% today, and so with Brent above $80, that's got a lot of energy sector related stocks running, and so this is above 70 now on RSI. Check it out down here. It's above 50-day simple moving average at 242. It needs to stay above that level. If it can stay above that green level, it can keep pushing higher. It needs to break above 350. A break above 350 would put this high close back over here around 425 on deck, and then $5 is another key level. If the candles work back into the bands, it needs to hold that 50-day simple moving average. Look at the big volume spike behind the move today, and MACD is heating up. Okay, take a look at YUMA. Closed up 68% today. Huge move. Closed above that middle Bollinger Band, the dotted purple line down here at 28, and above that 50-day simple moving average currently at 32. If both levels turn into support, it should head higher. Now it needs to break the gold line. Notice how it stalled out at that level back in June. Okay, if it can break above 43, that's going to signal more upside potential. We'll be looking for a potential run up there to that 200-day simple moving average, or up to this high close resistance level, which is back here around 70. There's a gap back here that is still unfilled between this candle here and between this candle and this candle, and so a run up to 110 would fill that gap above. Okay, and once again, look at the volume. There was huge volume spikes in the sector today. Okay, let's look at CYE here. Okay, closed up 77%. This up 77%. Notice they are getting above 70 on RSI and above 80 on Fasto. They're going to have to stay above 70 once that level is broken. Okay, bullish crossover on ADX up here. You know, the green line, you know, busting above the red, and the black signals the bulls are taking control. There was a close today above that middle Bollinger Band at 22, above the 50-day simple moving average at 28, and above the 100-day simple moving average at 34. Notice how that 100-day simple moving average was resistance back in June and July. When it failed to break that level, that's when it pulled back. The close above is a bullish change in trend, and it does signal more upside potential. Right now, that's the key level to hold. If it dropped below 34, it's definitely going to test that 50-day simple moving average at 28. It's really only going to be a good play going forward if it can stay above that gold line. Once again, notice the big volume spike, PSAR bull flip, and then you've got MACD line, you know, starting to break away from the signal line. Okay, take a look at TGC. Closed up 60% today. Yeah, this was a big move today. For the stock, closed above key levels. It had been trading in this tight sideways channel. Notice this is the top of the channel. You know, you got the bottom of the channel down here. You know, this was the bottom until it broke. And so basically today, the close above the top of the channel and the closing price here on July 10th does signal more upside potential. Now it's hitting the next key level. Just above 150 here is the July high close. It needs to break above that level. If it does, it could possibly run back into the twos. Notice that it ran up to 250 on that last big run. Once again, check out the volume. You've got the volume picking up here, best volume since the July run, and then you've got the bullish crossover on MACD on both time frames that signals the possible start of a new uptrend. Okay, take a look at PED. Closed up 42% today. Another big one. Yeah, we were rocking them in the chat today. Everybody was doing good, so congrats everybody. Way to trade. Marijuana sector cooled down, but the freaking energy sector was rocking. You just got to be nimble when you're a trader and go, and take what the market's giving you. And so yeah, right now we're looking for a break above 70 on our side. Bullish crossover on ADX. This has been trading in a very tight channel as well. Notice that sideways channel. Today there was a close above high close horizontal resistance. It closed above September high close, August high close, and then the July high close as well. That was the closing price right here on this candle. And so the close above does signal more upside potential. It's going to need to stay above to keep pushing higher. If it can break above this 3 resistance zone, it could run back up into the 4s. Notice there was this symmetrical triangle pattern within the sideways channel, and so it broke above just all these key levels. It's a difficult chart to read, but it is signaling more upside potential if it can stay above that you want to see it stay above 270 basically. And then look at the PSAR bull flip. The green dots were above the candles, they just flipped below. You've got the volume spike, the best volume since the July run, and then check out the MACD is starting a bullish crossover here. The MACD line actually did cross over the signal line there, and then on the 12, 26, and 9, and it crossed over on the 8, 13, and 5. When you see the crossover like that, that signals that a new uptrend could be starting. Okay, let's look at JONE. Closed up 36% today. RSI is above 50, so now it's back in the bull zone. The chart's heating up. Okay, look at that volume spike. Big volume for this stock. Okay, we've been covering this for a while, and it makes these runs. Okay, so what it has to do, it's got to get above that 50-day simple moving average. It stopped right at that level. Now, this had a recent reverse split as well, so now it's trading up at 650. What that does is when it gets above $5 and above 7, it gives institutions a chance to trade. When this was trading down in the 50 cent to $1 range, a lot of institutions can't touch it, and so the reverse split, it can help big board stocks if the institutions step in, and then it all becomes a matter of whether or not they start diluting, or whether or not they let the share price run. And so if it can get above that 659 level, the green line, the 100-day simple moving average at 816 will be the next target. Notice that was the sell zone in August. If it fails to break, that's going to be the profit taking zone once again. It's going to have to close above and turn into support to head higher. Okay, take a look at California Resource Corp, CRC. Big move today. Closed up 17%. This is another one that had a reverse split. And when it had a reverse split, it was way down here. And I can't remember the exact month that it happened, but this was once a penny stock as well. And then now look at it. It's at $46. So the reverse split did help this share price. And so now It's breaking above high close horizontal resistance. Notice how this was a top back in July, came down and found support at 28. It filled the jar back up to that level. Now it closed above high close horizontal resistance at 46. That signals more upside potential. It has to stay above that level. If it were to drop below 46, it could pull back, possibly fill this gap between Friday and Monday. Now, as long as that EMA4 at 42 holds, it signals more upside potential. Notice the big volume spike behind the move today. A volume, many times is your signal that the share price, that it wants to head higher. It's just whether or not this is a climax spike or is this breaking out higher with the energy sector. Okay, let's look at HUSA. Closed up 24% today, and so yeah, this chart's heating up as well. Notice the close above the red line. That's the 200-day simple moving average at 27. That was a big resistance zone back here in June and July. Notice how it kept failing to, it broke above temporarily, dropped back below. It was resistance and it consolidated. If it can stay above 27, we're going to look for a run up there to that 300-day simple moving average at 34. That's where it hit back in June and stalled out. That was the profit taking zone. It will have to turn that level into support to head higher. Otherwise, once again, it will be the profit taking zone. If it drops below 27, that would signal consolidation. It could come down and test that 100-day simple moving average down there at 24. Notice the big volume spike, huge volume behind the move today. So yeah, big move there. Let's look at SPI. Closed up 16%. Volume a little bit lighter on this ticker, but it is heating up. Look for a break above 50 on RSI. That's going to be your clue. If FASTO and RSI get above 50, it should signal the chart's heating up. This one's a little bit of a laggard, so keep an eye on this one. If you've missed the rally, this might be a play that might get moving. To play a little catch up. The key is stocks break out in a sector, and then so you find all the hot plays, and then you look for the laggards in the sector, the stocks that haven't yet participated, and then many times those become the good plays later in the week. So keep an eye on SPI. In order for this to be a good play, it's going to have to break above the middle Bollinger Band at 33, and then it has to get above the 50-day simple moving average at 35. The moving averages are stacked up here because you have the 100-day simple moving average at 38. If it can get above those three levels, that's when it could get moving. It failed to turn that level into support in August and pulled back. Once that level holds, that's when you could get the big run up to the 200-day simple moving average. So yeah, keep an eye on it. If it fails to break that middle Bollinger Band, it's not ready to go. Okay, take a look at DNR here. You can see these were in the bull zone, and then now they broke out above 80. This is a chart that I made in the morning, the annotations. But yeah, this broke out above high close resistance in August, DNR here, and that signaled more upside potential. Look at that breakout. And that's what I was talking about with the other stocks like CRC. See how it closed above resistance? Many times that close above, that's going to lead to a breakout higher. That's what you're looking for, CRC, and that's the same thing with DNR here. Look at the increasing volume. As long as EMA4 at 577 holds, the uptrend should continue. This was a chart actually that I made last week, and then we were looking for the breakout above, and then it finally happened. And then when it made the chart, you could see MACD was pinched, and then noticed how it crossed over. That signaled that it was ready to push higher. Okay, let's look at EPE here. Closed up 8%, and so yeah, this stock has been working its way back above the moving averages. It has a nice uptrend going. Got above the middle Bollinger Band, above the 50-day simple moving average. Today it closed above the 200-day simple moving average, that red line at 212. It needs to stay above that level. If it were to drop below, it could come down and test that middle Bollinger Band and 50-day simple moving average in that 190 support zone. Now to the upside, it has to break this gold and blue lines. That's the 100 and 200-day simple moving averages converging at 237. A break above 237 would be really bullish. That could lead to a run up here to 286. Keep an eye there on this gap. There is a gap up here back in July. It could come up here and fill the gap up there to around 270. Okay, and a lot of times a gap fill could be a climax event, an upward gap fill. So keep that in mind. So this is another one to keep an eye on, a lagger, ticker symbol USEG, low volume, only 244,000 shares, closed up 15%. So keep an eye on this one. This is your reward for watching this video. It could possibly head higher. It closed above that 50-day simple moving average. Many times when that happens, when it's been trading below, it signals that the stock wants to finally break out higher. Notice that it's been resistant since there was a close above above back here in July, and so this is a bullish change in trend. All these candles are below the green line until today, and so that signals that it could break out higher. What we're really looking for is a break above that black line. That's the 400-day simple moving average at 105, and then it's all about this 115 level. The 300 and 100-day simple moving averages are lined up. If it can get above them, then you have the 200-day simple moving average at 124. Break above that 124 level, that 200-day simple moving average, that's when it could really get running. You can see it ran up to 195 back in that June-July rally. And so this is the laggard that could possibly get moving, so keep an eye on USEG. And then take a look at WWR. This is actually in the non-ferrous metals sector here, but yeah, in materials sector. But it had a nice day as well, so I want you to keep an eye on this. Closed up 16%. If it can get above 50 on RSI, that's going to be your clue. Okay, yeah, this thing is ready to get moving. Similar to back here, notice how it got above 50, and that's where it had the nice rally the last time it looked good, which was back in June. And so today, the reason why I'm showing you this chart is because it closed above the middle Bollinger Band at 20. If that 20 level turns into support, a new uptrend can begin. Back here in July, it got above 20 after trading below, but it failed to hold and the downtrend continued. This is why we don't hold long when candles are forming below that middle Bollinger Band, but you know, that would have been a great short. Now that it's above that middle Bollinger Band, if that level holds, a new uptrend could begin, and look for a run up here to this upper Bollinger Band and the 50-day simple moving average at 28. It has to break that 28 level to head higher, the 50-day simple moving average. If it fails to, that's where it could stall out at. If it broke above, it could possibly run up to that 100-day simple moving average at 36. What makes this interesting as well is the volume. Look at the big volume behind the move today. So not only did it break above resistance, but it had a bullish volume spike. It also had a PSAR bull flip. The green dots are now below the candles. The SAR stands for stop and reverse, and it signals the possible start of a new uptrend. There's also a recent bull cross on both MACD time frames. So this is all signaling this can push higher, but keep in mind that 20 level is the stop loss level. If it were to close below that level, it would be a risk to hold long overnight. Okay, thanks for viewing this video. Please come check out the chat. We'd love to have you in it. All right, thank you.